Popular Religions in China, Taoism and Buddhism by Aislinn Ospina. Brief history of Buddhism and popularity. Buddhism first originated in India, and it has a large interesting story of how it surfaced around Asia. The teachings of the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, spread across the Asian continent during the 3rd century BCE. This religion kept growing, and Chinese monks became very interested to acquire texts from India. So they made a long journey to India to inspire them more about Buddha's life there and learn about the place he was born in. Universities, monasteries, and temples began to be established all over the continent in honor of Buddhism. Brief history of Taoism and popularity. Taoism is a religious and philosophical tradition that has rooted in early Chinese people. This religion originated in China. Lao Tzu is the original founder of this religion. Zhang Daoling became the first celestial master and founder of a Taoist school. In the early centuries, the Buddhists and Taoists would try to eliminate each other. Kublai Khan, the founder of the Yuan dynasty, destroyed most of the Taoist texts. This occurred because the Taoists lost debates against the Buddhists. The government would occasionally try to suppress all of Taoism, but that only made this religion stronger and eventually spread across to Japan and parts of Korea. Significance of Taoism and Buddhism to China. Both Buddhism and Taoism became two of the most popular religions in China, since they are both integrated in Chinese customs and the way of life. Chinese people live a full life that consists of manners, respect, family orientation, peace, etc. They live like this because of these religions. They don't have to believe in either of them because these religions are already accustomed to the way Chinese people live their life each day since their early ancestry. Origin and story of Buddhism. Buddhism traces back to its origin of Siddhartha Gautama, who is also called Buddha. Buddha literally means the enlightened one. Siddhartha was a young prince in the 6th century BC. He knew nothing about suffering, since his parents kept him in a sacred place, giving him only happiness and riches. But Siddhartha left all that in his 20s to discover what was behind those walls that have kept him inside throughout all his life. As he explored by himself, he discovered the suffering in the world, and he couldn't understand it. As a result, he meditated and attained the highest awakened state. He was freed by the cycle of rebirth when he reached his death. The teachings of Buddha spread across the entire world. His teachings were known as the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Origin and story of Taoism. Tao was started by a man named Lao Tzu. He believed in other people's happiness and having a balanced life. He also believed in the idea of Wu Wei, which literally means doing by not doing. This idea meant that everyone should have patience and follow the flow in life instead of doing things the hard way. Tao is translated as the way. In Taoism, Tao is the process of the universe, and everything is connected to it. The famous yin and yang derived from Taoism. Tao does not consist of a god, but instead of deities. Differences between Taoism and Buddhism. Although Taoism and Buddhism might sound similar, they are very different from each other. Buddhism originated in India, while Taoism originated in China. Taoism focuses on people to be one with Tao, while Buddhism focuses on people to attain enlightenment and nirvana. The principles of Buddhism focuses on the suffering of life, and the only way to be freed by suffering is to practice the Four Noble Truths and follow the Eightfold Path. In Taoism, Tao is the only principle and focuses on balancing life. The origin languages of Buddhism are Pali and Sanskrit, while Old Chinese is the origin language of Taoism. Taoism and Buddhism both do not believe in a personal God. They both have established monasteries, temples, and shrines scattered around China. They both have different philosophical goals, in which Buddhism focuses to eliminate eternal and mental suffering, while Taoism focuses to gain peace and balance in one's life. Buddhism is also much more different than Taoism in terms of how spread out it is towards the entire world. Buddhism is practiced in the West and more in Southeast Asian countries. Taoism is only more known in China and Korea. Although both of these religions are not entirely the same, they're both highly important to the country of China. Significance they both have in China. These two religions have reflected Chinese people and their traditions. Taoism and Buddhism are both respected by tourists and the residents of China. These temples and monasteries dedicated to these important religions are visited by millions of tourists each year. They hold a huge history behind China, and their practices are both respected since they display importance of human emotions and to become a better person. According to statistics, only about 12 million people are Taoists today. 100 million people used to be part of this religion, but now it is evident to understand why Buddhism has the most impact on people and how widely influenced it is compared to Taoism. There are numerous places and temples dedicated to both of these religions. Some are even worldwide famous and hold a historical presence for China. Many of these temples have been standing for more than 2,000 years and are preserved by the government because of its importance. Taoism and Buddhism have become so popular in China that they are even known across the world. Buddha is entirely known for its beautiful statues and meanings behind it. Yin and Yang is also very widely known for its addicting, beautiful symbol that everyone finds to be interesting. Today, temples are known to be one of the most beautiful sightseeing places for tourists and residents to visit daily in China. One of them is called the White Horse Temple. This temple is extremely important to China and its people because it was the first Buddhist temple to be built in China. It is a huge, beautiful temple that is about 2,000 years old. It holds a lot of history and significance to Buddhism. It is also very beautiful. One particular place that attracts many Buddhist apprentices is Sitar Larungar. This is a worldwide famous Buddhist academy. It holds at least 20,000 Buddhist apprentices each year that study there. It is also the largest Buddhist academy in the entire world. Tourists are not allowed here since it is extremely sacred and preserved. It is located in a remote area near the Sichuan province and is still under construction. There are many other popular Buddhist temples and sites in China, such as Mogao Grottoes. This one is located in Gansu province and is famous for their outstanding gorgeous statues. Most of these important temples and sites are even listed in UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Sites, where they are worldwide famous and visited by millions of people. Taoism is popular all over different regions in China. The most popular is a place that holds Taoism's greatest history, which is the birthplace of Taoism, on Mount Heming. This mountain is located in Sichuan and is worldwide famous for its holy land and beautiful palace, temple, and statues. A Taoist temple that is located on a mountain called Taiyun Mountain is one of the most dangerous to visit. This is because this temple was built on the peak of this mountain that is about 1,666 meters high from the ground. It is one of the most famous Taoist mountains in China. This area in Shanxi, China, is also a national AAA tourist attraction. Buddhism and Taoism became so popular that even today both of them are known and still hold millions of followers. Although Buddhism became more worldwide known, both Taoism and Buddhism are extremely popular in China. They did not become popular only because they originated in Asia, but also because they related to the behaviors and culture of Asian people. Although they both have different beliefs and goals for mankind, they both can relate to humanity in a positive way. It is also an advantage that they both do not look up or worship a god. This part can bring many controversies since both Taoism and Buddhism can be viewed as a religion or philosophy. Either way, any person can become a follower no matter where they come from or what kind of background they have. Both of these religions teach people to behave a certain way that bring peace to themselves and get rid of the sufferings they experience throughout their life. Thank you.